step 1 through 6 everywhere on each time frame, multiple times.
Yep. Starting from your higher time frames to understand like where you're at overall in price, like weekly, daily, 4 hours, all your ranges, until you keep getting to your tolerance level. From a small standpoint, it's just the first step is just finding something that breaks on both sides. So where it breaks the previous low, like right here. Like I see it perfectly, but you might not be able to because you're still new. But it's super simple. You just like let's say I'll go on at my 15 minute. You want to find something that breaks on both sides of a solidified point that makes a new range. So you can see how this point. Look how this low broke below this one and this. We broke below these lows. And then you can see how the last previous range was here. This was the last previous highest range from this low to this high. And then this was a solidified point. So we broke below this solidified point. And then we broke, and then this high right here becomes a solidified point because we broke on both sides. We broke above here, and then we broke below here.
Not yet.
This bearish range. But then look what happened.
You boss, you're welcome.
I can read the same.
Have you seen KD? Not yet. We're looking for him. We've been looking for him too. All right, thank you, boss. You're welcome. Have y'all seen KD? KD. Y'all ain't seen me? Hey, where KD at? Have you seen KD?
Happened, we broke above it. Boom. So now we have a range that broke on both sides of solidified points.
When you say on step 1, identifying the continuation move, which one is the continuation move? Because I know you said yesterday it was the new range.
Yeah, just forming the new range. I need to reword it, but it's pretty much just finding your new range. Finding your new range that broke out of a solidified point. It has the previous point it breaks out of has to be a solidified point, and it has to form a new range. So you can see how we've never been above this high yet, and then now with this, now we broke above it.
So on the first step that says identifying the continuation move, continuation move, could it be something has a very big move, whether it's bullish or bearish, that is just continuing for a long period of time on the same direction?
Yeah. So like here, so then now, since this point right here became solidified, and then this range right here got completed, so now this is my last previous big solidified point. We broke here, then we broke above this solidified point, and look what happens, we break below it. So then now this becomes my first step from a bearish checklist. Now this becomes my new bearish range, because we made a break of structure. We broke out of this solidified point here. We completed this range. We completed both of these ranges. This becomes a big solidified point, and then now this becomes a break of structure to the downside. And then if you combine your bigger ranges, you'll see how we've just been bullish since April. Since the beginning of April, we've just been bullish. So for 47 days over a month, we've just been bullish. So now it's solidifying a bigger high, because remember, every big, like, the bigger ranges you go, they need big lows and big highs. And remember, price is never going to go up forever, and it's never going to go down forever. So now that we broke out of this solidified point, look at this big key solidified point. This is a huge solidified point. We broke above this, and then we broke below this. This is a huge solidified point. Look how we broke above it. So then this would be our first step in this bigger overall, like 1 hour, 4 hour range. We broke above this, and then we broke below this. This is a huge, now that we broke out of this solidified point, look at this big key solidified point. This is a huge solidified point. We broke above this, and then we broke below this. This is a huge solidified point. Look how we broke above it. So then this would be our first step in this bigger overall, like 1 hour, 4 hour range. We're forming this new range. And then you can see how we've just been going up, and we're not really forming a high yet. So now we have formed a big high. Now we have a big solidified low. And then now with this break right here, look how price is retracing. Now this would technically be our third step. So this would be our first step, our new range, our break of structure. Second step, identifying one of the last pushes. It could be this one, or even this one. And then third step is identifying that solidified point. So now that we broke a solidified point like here, now that we broke that, now we have a big solidified high. So now we have a solidified low, we have a solidified high. Now we have the first 3 steps of a bigger range checklist. So then now it seems like price is going to retrace to one of these last pushes, and then we're going to go right back up.
So on the first step, the very first thing is to identify the continuation move.
Yeah, finding a new range.
The new range. range. The new range would break the top and bottom at the same in the same area, or the top and bottom breaks without. My question. Is if the new range, or the which is the continuation move.
Yeah, so for you, like, I feel like it's still confusing because it's still so new. Like, I promise you, if you go over it, you'll understand. Like, it's just gonna click.
Yeah. The thing is that there are words that I don't know the concepts for. Like how you explained me yesterday, the continuation move is the new range, which is the biggest move, where right before that something will break on the top and on the bottom. But that big new range or continuation move, how does it break the previous top and how does it break the previous bottom?
Like right here, we broke on both sides. We broke below this, and then we broke above this, so that now this becomes a new range. From this low to this high, because we broke below this, then we broke above this. So
it broke above the top line?
Broke below and then above it. So if you're bullish, it has to break below and above the new high. If you're bearish, it has to break above and then below the previous low. Boom.
So
below and then above it. So if you're bullish, it has to break below and above the new high. If you're bearish, it has to break above and then below the previous low. Boom.
So it has to break above or below that enclosed area?
Both sides.
On both sides. Okay. That is the
answer. So like right here, if you're bullish, it has to break below. For a bullish range, it has to break below and then above the previous high, forming a new range. If you're bearish, it has to break above the previous high and then below the previous low. It has to break on both sides. And like what I explained here, I explained how sometimes I would get confused off of a continuation break. Like right here. So you can see how like right here.
It breaks on that one. It breaks on that one.
No, where was it?
Breaks on that one as well.
Like the solidified point has to break. Oh yeah, right here. Boom. So right here, sometimes I would be like, oh, right here we formed a new bullish range from this low to this high. And then this first break right here is simply the continuation break confirming this bullish leg from this low to this high. This point right here is not solidified. It only becomes solidified once it breaks above it. So look how we broke it again.
Above the high of the range.
Yeah, exactly, above the high of the range. But we broke it again. So before I would be like, oh, this is a new bearish range. We failed to take out this high. We're going to continue lower. I'm going to sell from here. But look, another solidified point didn't come. There was no, so look, you can see how we had this bearish range, high, low. It came back to the last push that took out structure. We had continuation break target. This point becomes solidified, and we never broke below this. Instead, we just continued higher. Why? because this high was still a target because we didn't complete it yet. This was simply the continuation break. It has to break on both sides.
Once a continuation move, so-called new range, breaks above the previous broken high, and the continuation move,
simply the continuation break. It has to break on both sides.
once a continuation move, so-called new range, breaks above the previous broken high and the previous broken low, do you automatically mark them with red dots on the top and bottom?
Explain it again? Sorry.
So the new
Explain it again.
range, the continuation, that is the new range, when it breaks above the high and below the low, do you mark the low and high of that range automatically?
Yeah, you can mark out your lows because remember, there's still ranges. The first break still has to confirm the high. So it's still a range. So like right here, this first break to the downside is still confirming the high. This is still a range, but it's not a solidified range because we haven't made that pattern yet. Targeting gets taken out. This point right here becomes solidified, and then it's not until that we break this that now we have a guaranteed solidified low and a guaranteed solidified high. So until you have this pattern, it's still confirming the high. This is still a range, but it's not a solidified range because we haven't made that pattern yet. Targeting gets taken out. This point right here becomes solidified, and then it's not until that we break this that now we have a guaranteed solidified low and a guaranteed solidified high. So until you have this pattern on both sides, your range is not solidified, it's not guaranteed.
The high of the range and the low of the range, are those solidified points, or there's just
this is the solidified low and this is the solidified high. That's why this checklist
low of the range, are those solidified points, or there's just
this is the solidified low and this is the solidified high. That's why this checklist played out so perfect because of these first three steps. Finding your new range. Second step, identifying the last push. Third step, confirming that solidified high. So now we have finding your new range. Second step, identifying the last push. Third step, confirming that solidified high. So now, because of these first three steps, finding your new range. Second step, identifying the last push. Third. first step, confirming that solidified high. So now we have a solidified low, we have the last push of takeout structure, and we have a solidified high. So until you don't have a new range and both points are solidified, so remember, right here with this range right here is not solidified yet, because from this first break right here is simply just confirming the high of the range. Targeting gets taken out. Now this point right here becomes solidified. So then look, it's not until you break a solidified point that now you have your third step and now you can retrace. So you're just confirming the high of the range. Targeting gets taken out. Now this point right here becomes solidified. So then look, it's not until you break a solidified point that now you have your third step and now you can retrace. So you can see how like you have to wait for these steps to align. So like this is what I was explaining to where that student, for that buy to come, he literally had to wait. For that buy to come, he had to wait a whole day and 8 hours for this one buy, for all this to set up.
Can you highlight the continuation move? One continuation move.
Yeah, it's this right here. This is a new range. The continuation move is your new range right here.
But I don't.
From this solidified low to the solidified high.
All right. So the new range, low and high, you always mark those 2 points. And they're solidified points. They're not just marked as highs and lows.
No, these are solidified points. When you form that pattern, when you do this.
All right. So the high of the range and the low of the range are not solidified points. They're just highs and lows.
They're just highs and lows. Exactly. It's not until you do this. You have to have
5 points. There's just
when you do this.
All right. So the high of the range and the low of the range are not solidified points. There's just highs and lows.
They're just highs and lows. Exactly. It's not until you do this. You have to have your solidified low, and then look, you have the continuation break, target, solidified point. Until you break this solidified point, you don't have a solidified high yet. Well, then once you break it, boom, now you have a solidified high. So then now these are your solidified points.
The continuation move. Why it also has the name new range?
It's a new range.
So it's just the same thing.
Yeah. I promise you, you're asking really good questions. And you're going to understand this very good. But I promise you, you go over this 2 days, you're going to clear up all your questions. I promise you.
Yeah.
Like, you're already asking very good questions. You're asking very good questions.
Yes. No, and you're answering my questions. Perfect.
Yeah.
So identifying the general moves, the same has a new range. Just its tops and bottom is just identifying its highs and lows. First move that makes something to break. How does the new range breaks the previous low and previous high?
it's funny. Like I promise you, you asked me this like 7 times on this call, and I've gone over it, and I promise you, you go over and study it, it's gonna click. I promise. Because right now we're kind of going in circles. Like you're confused about that right now. But I promise you, you go back and study this call, it's gonna click.
Yeah, I think that like what I will be missing is to have the concepts of some words.
Or even like you can even make up your own words if you want to call this whatever you want to call it. Is just literally just identifying the steps, just following, copying and pasting everything that I'm doing. You don't have to call it what I'm calling it.
No, I think I already answered my own question as well. I can see how you can break. You just find a point that it breaks on the high and on the low, and then okay, so that is step one. Step two, identifying the move that took the structure out. What does that mean?
Yeah, identifying the last opposite push that took out structure. So like in the call, like I've gone over it like several times, like you'll see.
But
identifying the last opposite push that took out structure. So like in the call, like
that is step one. Step two, identifying the move that took the structure out. What does that mean?
Yeah, identifying the last opposite push that took out structure. So like in the call, like I've gone over it like several times, like you'll see.
But I don't know what it is.
Identifying the last opposite push. So right here, this was the last. You see how this is the last opposite push down that broke above structure here. So right here, this will be my second step.
Okay, so on the new range, I have to identify the last move.
The last opposite. So like if I'm in a bullish range, you have to identify the last opposite push down, and then spiked up to break. So like if I'm in this bullish range, my second step is identify find the last opposite push down that broke above structure here. So if I'm in a, so then now for a bearish range, my second step would be identifying my last opposite push up that took out structure from this point. So right here, we broke structure here. So then my second step from a bearish standpoint, look at this. Look how this was the last, right here, we shot down, and then we had a spike up, and then broke structure. And then look how it comes back to it here. See that? It always comes back to that last opposite push. That's your second step. Your second step is always identifying the last opposite push before it's spiked up and broke.
which structure?
Of the solidified point of the new range of here. Boom. So for this bullish standpoint, we broke above this. For this bearish range, we broke below this solidified point.
So it has to break, like on the bullish new range, that previous move that took the structure out. It has to take. I see the point on the high.
Like these are perfect ranges right now. Like perfect ranges on that. Like this is picture perfect textbook. And you can see it happens every single day.
On the bearish range on the right, the last move to take the structure did not take it.
What do you mean?
On the right, that one, that bearish one, yeah, that last move that is supposed to take the structure didn't take it because isn't the structure the one on the left?
Yeah, here. So look. We broke below this, and look, you can see that this is the last opposite push up that broke below this.
How did it break below?
It broke below this low right here, right?
But isn't that just the low of the range?
Yeah, this is a solidified point. It's now invalidated. If we were going to continue higher, we should have continued higher from this bullish range. Remember what I explained earlier? If we were going to continue higher, we would have continued higher from this bullish range. This was a solidified point, solidified low, new high, and we were supposed to continue higher from here, from this range. But look how the range failed. We failed. We didn't have another break of structure to the upside. Instead, we broke this. So then now that's why price is changing now. And then also, from your bigger standpoint, look how bullish we are. Like, we're eventually going to retrace. Now we're in this bullish standpoint, like what I explained earlier.
So I'm confused on step 2. I'm trying to understand
I promise you, if you watch the calls, you'll understand it. I promise you. By you repeating it, because like if you just ask the questions now and I keep showing you, like and I keep explaining it, like you'll look back on the call and you'll realize like I asked the same questions like 10 times and I've explained every single time. But I promise you, like if you keep asking like this without practicing it, it's not gonna wire into your brain.
practice it. The thing
No,
that
of course, that's what I'm saying. But it's like you'll realize like it's just gonna take like what I explained. You need to watch the recorded video like that we're gonna have now, and then on another monitor or on your monitor, you need to copy and paste everything that I'm doing. And then by you doing that, it's just gonna click into your brain. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, like this is the first step. This is a new range. This is the second step. This is the third step. This is a solidified point. This is a continuation break.
Yeah, I understood step 1.
Yeah,
but
now like you're asking very good questions. Like with this call right here, this is literally the perfect call to answer all your future questions in the future. Like by you keep like the first call we went over everything. I did all my steps. You let me do everything, and then this second call you asked all your questions. So you'll see you review the first call. You do it over and over and over again, and then the same questions that you're asking me, you can literally just go back into this call, and then boom, all your questions are gonna be answered. But I promise you, like you have to, like you'll see once you practice, you'll get it.
I got the first step, so that's really good.
Yeah.
With me, like
you're still so new to this. Like trust me, like it's gonna look like Chinese right now. Understand the first step for like 2 weeks. I was like, what
I got the first step already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I got the first step.
practicing and copying what he was doing, and it's like.
But the thing is that I watched the video you sent me yesterday. I watched it, and I couldn't understand because to me, like I have to know the concepts of some words that I'm getting from the 6 steps. That is my first time seeing them. So if I don't have those concepts, I won't be able to match those concepts of those words to the video because they'll be said on the video, but they're completely new words. I don't know what they mean.
No, but yeah, but by you going over the charts, like you don't even have to call it what I'm calling it. You'll just be like, oh, okay, this is the first step, second step, third step.
And also, what happens is that on the video, like if you, for example, you don't highlight what a new range is, like it'll be difficult for me to know with the mouse, like which one is it, because it becomes very like undefined. So on
but I wrote it down like very good in all your questions. Like I wrote down everything, the steps, every single step, the first step, second step, third step, fourth step, why it failed, why it didn't continue to go up.
Question on the range, the previous moves that breaks structure. Does it have to be, because like I can see several ones. Does it have to be an exact size or the biggest one?
Go from the biggest one down to the smallest.
Okay.
You always start from the bigger to the smaller ones.
Okay. And it just has to break.
Yeah.
A high point or a low point?
Of a solidified point, of a new range.
Yeah. That solidified point of the new range, okay, it's because I understood that. I need to find the move that okay, I got step 2. Step 3, identifying first move. I understand step 1 and 2, but it doesn't say how to get the first solidified point on step 1 and step 2.
No, but you'll see, like, you can't only go based off of that chart. Like, you have to, like those, like, I don't even care to look at those steps anymore. Like, and when I understood it on the charts, I was like, oh, I'm not following first step, second step. Like, you'll learn to read it on the charts. Like, right now, you're learning to read a new language. So right now, these charts, like right here, I have everything marked up perfectly. But then right now, to you, it looks like this. So right now, you're blind, and then by you doing it over and over and over again, you're gonna slowly start to see everything.
Sure.
So it's not really based off of the written checklist. Is gonna be based off of you understanding your ranges, your solidified points, your ranges, and just understanding this.
How do you locate and identify the first solidified point?
Something that broke on both sides. So like I explained that already. I explained it.
Something that broke on both sides.
Yeah.
So automatically, when it breaks on both sides, that automatically makes the first solidified point.
Yeah, the previous one. So right here, we broke on both sides. So you can see out here, we broke on both sides here, forming a new range. This point became solidified. We broke below this. So then now, this previous highest point is now a solidified point because we broke above this, and then we broke below this previous solidified point. And then since we broke above this, now this is our new breakup structure of a previous.
Hold up. I understood it. The first. First point only becomes solidified after something breaks it?
on both sides. So we broke below this, and then we broke above this high right here. Boom. Forming a new range. This low now becomes solidified. And look what happened. We broke below this solidified point. So this becomes a new range, and now this high becomes solidified because we broke above this, and we broke below this, becoming a new bearish range, formed a new range. And then this point now becomes solidified. And look what happens. We broke above this. So then now this became our new range because we broke out of a solidified point here. Boom.
The first solidified point always starts on the bottom.
If you're bullish, yeah. When you're bullish, it starts from the bottom, and when you're bearish, it starts from the top. So right here, we're in the bearish one, so we broke above this, and then we broke below this, so this becomes our previous solidified point up here.
So when the new range is bullish, the first solidified
point. Like I explained it here, like these were all previous solidified points. You can see we're not breaking previous solidified points. We're just forming new ranges. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. So in bullish range, the first solidified point is at the bottom of the bullish range.
Yeah.
Nice.
For bullish, your previous solidified points are going to be, when it breaks on both sides, it's going to be the lowest point that broke on both sides. Boom, boom, boom. And then for your bearish ones, it's going to be the previous ones from the highest point. So like right here. You see?
So that is a bearish range, a new range. So the first solidified point will be at the top.
Yeah, so see, these are all previous.
Perfect. I looked at that one the same time.
Yeah.
At the same time, I looked it up. Okay. And then, when is it the second one created again? When I know that it was when something breaks. Okay, so I got the first solidified point. And then, I understood it on the bullish example.
It is. I apologize, but I do have to wrap it up. I have to meet some friends for like a dinner. And I have to.
Okay. Okay, when
but
can
I promise I answered all your questions. Like I promise you, like this was a very good call.
Can I send, like, I have some words that I don't know the concepts of. Can I send you the words, and you can tell me the concepts of the words?
Like when? Right now?
No, I can send them now, and whenever you have a moment.
Yeah. But I promise you, you go over the call, and you just go over and over again, and then you're gonna it's gonna click.
On this video from today?
Yeah, both of them. From the first one and this one.
From the first one that you sent me is the one that you have with the guy.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the two calls that we did today because it got separated.
Oh, okay. So, let's see.
Okay.
Before you go, what is the difference of a range and a solidified range?